I am upset. I'm upset and possibly unsettled. Around a year ago, I had a dream about Hollywood. I had a pretty profound dream about Los Angeles and what happens there. And there was this huge lake and a sort of prison tower and robbers and money things and prison bars, and it got dark and heavy and symbolic. And I had this sentence stuck in my head: thousands of lives inside the big one. And in the dream, there was a direct and full representation of what Los Angeles is, because it's a dream and it works with concepts and it doesn't have to make sense, and you believe your dreams with 100% faith. And inside your dream, you're like, yes, this completely makes sense. In order to describe an entire city, you can just say one sentence, and that's Los Angeles. Thousands of big ones inside, thousands of small lives inside the big one. And now I'm just done streaming the music theory shit. I open YouTube to get lost, and here's what the fuck I see. So many small lives fit inside the big one. Savannah, what the fuck? Motherfucker. What? And I'm upset because obviously I can't find the sentence that I wrote a year ago, which says thousands of small lives inside the big one, or thousands of lives inside the big one. It's not in my iCloud notes, which is where I would think I put it. So it's definitely recorded in voice memos, and there would be about 1,500 to go through to find it, something like that, because I don't think I named it. Don't think I organized very many of those recent ones yet. So I'm never going to find it for a bit, but when I find it, I can prove to you guys that that was true. And I want to watch the video and see what the fuck it's about.
Hello, Sav here. Better than before. Since I've seen you last.
I hate when people do that. Oh, okay. 26. That's so hot.
Sav here. Better than before. Since I've seen you last, I feel new, which made it difficult to decide what topic to even come back with.
Oh,
and
wait,
I kept psyching
my bad.
myself out. So consider this a low stakes reintroduction and just dipping my 5-star Wikifeet toes back into the waters of perception. I'm in bed. That's how low-shouldered this is. Look how intimate. Over the past year, I've developed a great many new philosophies. A significant relationship almost ended. I started therapy. I started antidepressants. I stopped therapy. I stayed on the antidepressants. Drugs. The significant relationship did end. And I made a FetLife account. Any questions? No? Just as I suspected. My prefrontal cortex has finished growing fully, which is an exciting personal milestone. It was like,
How? Really? Are girls like that? That's fucking crazy. Imagine not having your brain growing until like you're 32. That's crazy.
And I made a
Drugs?
The significant relationship did end. And I
Did?
made a FetLife account. Any questions? No? Just as I suspected.
Significant, bro. I don't understand what you're saying. I think I'm dumb.
My prefrontal cortex has finished growing fully, which is an exciting personal milestone. It was like my own equivalent of when terrifying dudes wait for an especially coquettish minor to turn 18. I'm like ready to start legally posting my big girl thoughts in compromising positions, you know what I mean? Some groundwork.
It's fucking awesome.
Look at my fucking claws. Some groundwork. I'm doing it now so you can be annoyed at me now instead of later. I have a new poetry collection coming out because of course I do.
I love
It's
this
called
girl.
Closer Baby Closer.
How can you not fall in love with that
girl? It looks
girl?
like this. It's out February 14th next year. It's about the person I'm not dating anymore. Here are some nice blurbs so you can get the gist. It's up for pre-order. All the links.
relatable.
Links are below as always. All
Mine, the one that bought a house today, she just always says, when the fuck are you gonna write in French? And so I'm writing a rap album in French right now where I talk about jerking off a lot. And the ass of I don't know if I can say that. We'll leave it at that.
the pre-orders will be signed by me. It's by far my most personal work. If Sweet Dark is my last collection, if Sweet Dark was pure vibes, this one is actual like substance. It's got a bit of like art to it. That's the official marketing narrative. I'm also going on tour in November, just around the UK, but I'll be reading poems from the aforementioned new collection, as well as some old poems, as well as some new poems that aren't in the new collection.
That is so fucking crazy. That's so dumb. That is the craziest, most amazing thing I've ever heard. I would love to do that. Didn't Jeff Buckley do that? Just played shows and read poems? That's awesome. That's a man. This girl is a man.
Come along, it should be fun. I'll share things that can only be shared ephemerally in like a don't tell anyone I'm Hannah Montana kind of way. We'll probably get a drink afterwards. It's
just like women when they eat cinnamon buns, they're men.
One more thing, I've spent the better part of this year conceptualizing a little indie press called Doomsday. Doomsday Press. It was just announced that it exists. We're open for submissions, so if you have a funky poetry collection or some spec fic that's sexy or spooky, then send it our way. Long story short, I decided that traditional publishing isn't really my jam at this point in time, and I basically
What are you talking about? What does that do? Like, can I press my poetry? Because I have a couple hundred poems, I guess. I don't know what to do with them. I've been debating it in my head for about 4.5 years. Well, not really, maybe more than that, but I made a website back in the day where I posted my poems and text and stuff, and maybe I'll bring it back. It's my little mystic cave. I'll do a spoken word album that I'll put on Spotify and shit, I think. I mean, no one's watching, so I'm I don't know, actually. My head is in my ass. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, cool. Since it's just the comfort of my own skull. Kings of Leon is so fucking trash. I'm coming back from Lola and I still can't wrap my head around it. They are fucking trash. The singer always uses the same part of his range and probably always uses the same notes because the songs are all pretty much in the same key. I'll try to use a bit of shuffle to camouflage it. It's frankly pathetic. Oh, this fucking blend of layered guitars is so shit. 2 of the songs have like the exact same bass riff, just a major scale going up or some shit. The reverb on the guitar is terrible. It feels like a band is playing in there and there's this dude taking a shit on the sound from afar. The drummer did nothing interesting. Every song sounded the same. And they played super fucking long. Okay, well, it's just random major chords and guitar noodling and haunting over it. Everything is so forgettable that I knew only Sex on Fire before, and I'm walking out knowing just the same. Isn't that awesome? That's the first song. Is it a song? That's the first piece, the first poem, the first track, whatever Spotify execs want to call that shit.
Publish all my own work myself forever, or at least indefinitely. And I figured, hey, if I already have all these like officiated channels in place, then I should publish other people too. And I got really excited about the idea of curating like an actually cool and beautiful forward-thinking list of weird work. And then, yeah, Doomsday. The inflatable
I'll
opposite, of
send
course,
my
of
shit to
independent
you.
publishing is ready,
I don't give a
waiting to
fuck.
be filled with freaky little weirdos.
Okay, but like, she's saying freaky little weirdos, so that's track 1 though. You know. What is the album called? I don't know. What's track 1 of the album? I don't know if I'm recorded here or with an actual good mic, like a really good mic. I don't know yet.
I'll be there, filling it with air, stabbing you with a cattle prod, saying, go make your mark on the zeitgeist.
You're a fucking weirdo.
A24 publishing, buzzword, and we're done. I want to tell you some of the things I've been thinking about recently. The president should be a computer. No, I've been, to no one's surprise, mainly thinking so much about relationships for like 2 years straight. This will be the great mystery of my life. I genuinely believe that this will, I was gonna say haunt me, but that's not, like, haunt me in the same way the moon haunts me forever. And when I say that, I'm not just or even primarily talking about love. I mean more like the connection and specifically intimacy, but
just people.
Also how to get each other to listen and why the generational communication gap feels like so insurmountable every single time. This is my other entirely baseless theory. Like no matter what the dress.
How the fuck? This girl's 26 and I'm basically like her. Like just math wise, I'm in the same group, you know. Like that's the same generation, same life, same experiences. It's fucking weird. It just really is.
Things of the times are or were to live has always felt like this, and everyone has felt the same separation from
such a
past
woman,
people that we do now, and future people will feel exactly the same towards us. It's very sad. I've had this little obsession lately with trying to figure out how to speak to future people in a way they'll understand, but just in general how to get people to understand. And I'm not saying this because I'm looking to like push a particular issue necessarily, but more as a poet. My other theory is that all great poets are comedians and also psychics. But yeah, my life's great mystery.
Thanks. I don't know how many YouTube channels I need.
That all being said, I maybe should have opened with, in the time I was gone, it's been pretty confidently decided that I've got at least a hint of the tism. Even in an Occam's razor way, it would just make a lot of things make sense. A hint of the tism. Even in an Occam's decided that I've got at least a hint of the tism. Even in an Occam's razor.
YouTube thinks you're saying autism. What are you saying?
In the time I was gone, it's been pretty confidently But yeah, my life's great mystery. That all being said, I maybe should have opened with, in the time I was gone, it's been pretty confidently decided that I've got at least a hint of the tism, even in an Occam's razor.
What? Of what?
It would just make a lot of things make sense all at once. Yeah, that's been a helpful realization in understanding how...
I think she's definitely actually saying autism, but I don't... Like, the awe sounds weird.
At least a hint of the tism, even...
I hear autism or something, right? Okay, yeah, now it makes sense, yeah. A hint of autism.
Confidently decided that I've got at least a hint of the tism, even...
Did you censor it? Autism. A hint of autism.
Confidently decided that I've got at least a hint of the tism, even in an Occam's
of autism? I don't know.
Razor way, it would just make a lot of things make sense all at once. Yeah, that's been a helpful realization in understanding how I relate to people, but also how other people relate to each other when I'm not there. I've really felt like an observer between London Bridge Underground Station and London Bridge train station. There's this like long hallway, and it's always full of people And I was walking down the long hallway recently, and all these people were looking at me, and I was looking back at all these people. And I really, in my mind's eye, was like imagining myself as a little drone, but like a cute one with like eyelashes, like just zooming around, having like robot thoughts in my little drone head. And something about that imagery brought me a great deal of comfort. I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm just here to like have a little look around. Like, that's nice. A lot of my anxiety surrounding social stuff has gotten a lot better. Something about,
It's great.
I think, getting older.
Yeah. It
But
grounds
also
you.
the confirmation that there has always been something different, and I'm not just like a fucking alien. That's helped. And I reckon I'm thinking about all this so much now, because it's really difficult to be an effective observer in a situation where you feel self-conscious. Maybe. And before, a lot of my thoughts were focused on like internal things, because it was so impossible for me to like get myself out of my...
Why do people care? Why are we all, like thousands of us, watching this girl rant about her thoughts? Because like I do the same. I do the same thing. And I'm genuinely interested in it. And like she is a cute little drone, and so I'm like, you know, I want God to take the same woman and make her ugly as fuck and make her say the same shit and see how well the channel does.
Myself. I feel like I'm more aware, or I have more consideration for like external things. And it's so...
That's probably why I don't show my face on the channel where I do the same thing. Because I don't want it to be about people wanting to fuck me. You know, even remotely a little bit. But it always is. But there's both a self-conscious push to not do that, because I don't feel lovable, probably. And also a genuine, no, I think that's problematic.
Funny, all of these things, like I watched...
Like actually problematic, not, oh my god, you made a joke, you know?
That now like 3-year-old video, which is crazy, but the forming real human connections one, I watched it again recently, and like I feel like surface level I'm saying all the same things now that I was saying then, but now I feel like I'm asking questions that I didn't even know I could ask then.
Oh, that's awesome.
There's like this
That's fucking
matrix
amazing.
of ideas about...
Fuck! Fuck. Fuck you, Agent Smith. We're in the fucking Matrix, man.
like human
I
compatibility.
call this fucking video escaping the Matrix, and she's out here saying the fucking word Matrix. Fuck you. God damn it. Where's the camera, bro? I'm gonna find it.
And shared experience, but also like language and how we use it is so fucking interesting and important. Another thing I've been thinking about, I'm 26. It's now becoming clear to me how chapters of a life form, how we take the story of our lives and shape it in a way that makes it like narratively cohesive, and how I can like...
Yes, that's annoying, right? It's fucking annoying because it's excuses, you know? When you compartmentalize things like that, you forget that time is just one small thing, one infinite thing, you know? Like today, this moment right now is exactly the same as the day that I'm 95. And that's exactly the same if it happens or if it doesn't happen. It's all, you know, shit's gonna happen, whatever the fuck happens. So I don't, you know, it's weird how we paint over our lives and we're like, oh, 3 days ago I went from the west of France to the east of France, and it's September, it's a new school year, and so that constitutes this new chapter of my life, because now I'm gonna have to have a job, and now my RSI is much worse, and now I've done psychedelics, and I've done this and this, and you know, and I've relapsed at that point, and at that point, and you define yourself with those things, and you try to see how you evolve with that. Meanwhile, in another way, experience keeps being completely even flow, and there's a dangerous thing about putting too much concept into past time. There's a dangerous thing about it. I don't know, maybe it grounds you too much. It removes that sense of urgency, that sense to realize that it's none of it really existed. I don't know. And you should just watch this girl's face while she's talking. I want to rewind that. I want to hear that again.
Thing I've been thinking about. I'm 26. It's now becoming clear to me how chapters of a life form, how we take the story of our lives and shape it in a way that makes it like narratively cohesive, and how I can like,
yeah, that's what's fucked up about it. We're constantly interviewing ourselves. We're constantly thinking about our future in a way that makes sense not only to us because it's useful, but to other people. We think about the people we haven't met yet. We think about how to make sense of who we are so that we can explain it away. It's like a justification. It's like, yeah, there's this phase where I felt like shit, and you put the label, that's the depression phase, over it, and something like that. I've always done that, of putting my life into chapters, and now it unsettles me a lot, because I guess in a way now I see how similar all these things were. I see the patterns that were running between the chapters, and I see the ball of personal issues and knots of mine that were in there and didn't change one iota between period to period. It just kind of the same snowball with different faces, and so I never addressed it all at once, because those chapters were defined by specific faces of the snowball that I was facing. So that's, yeah, I guess compartmentalizing your life into these chapters is like symptomatic medicine. It's like you trying to focus on instances instead of being.
feel it happening. Anyway, drink every time I say feel in this video, Christ. Some in a way that makes it like narratively cohesive, and how I can like feel it happening. Anyway, drink every time I say feel in this video, Christ. Some INFP bullshit. On the whole, I've been feeling a lot more settled in myself, and if not more peaceful, then certainly more like peace seeking. I'm having a lot of really funny conversations. Like, I'm learning a lot. I feel really satisfied, I guess.
I'm
This
a comedian.
Might lose some of you. I was so devoid of like any interpersonal experiences in the past, that I didn't have a lot of stories, and it occurred to me recently that things must be different, because I feel like now I have a lot of stories. I don't know, I feel like a lot of things are happening to me every time I go outside. I can feel life happening.
Cute as fuck, dude.
And it's nice.
Can I say?
I'll be back with more soon. Genuinely, I have a lot of things to say. For now, closer, baby, closer. Doomsday tour. Tomorrow, the day after that.
I'm not escaping the fucking Matrix, dude. Which one is that? Yes.
Hello, my name's Savannah, and I'm just here to have...
Did you see that? Did you see what was recommended? right to the left of that video, and we're still in the fucking Matrix, man. That was my own video that is happening right now, that I'm recording using the other recommendation to the right of that.
Have a good time. And I'm doing a bad job at it.
It's the Beatles, right? Sound like the Beatles. Why?
When I was bullet pointing stuff I wanted to make videos about, I realized they were all topics centered around my crisis. If you don't know about my crisis, here it is. Sav's big crisis. Basically, I turned 23 in July, and ever since then I have been struggling in a variety of realms, my daily waking thoughts sort of just flitting between each of them, and that's what life is now, I guess. There's 4 that I am willing to share with the public at large. Gotta maintain a bit of mystery. I think there's actually 7. I kind of wanted there to be 9, like the 9 circles of hell. I thought that'd be kind of funny. Wish I was worse, is what I'm saying.
Come
I wish
on,
I was
man.
struggling.
Nah, I have a thing for this type of woman, dude. It's actually fucked up. I'm embracing it.
More for a joke. Anyway, this is one of the things, and we'll begin with a thesis statement. There's a lot of like empowerment discourse centered around the self. So like you're the only thing
true.
you actually have, which is something I've said before. But it's stuff like that that's based around control and autonomy and like being able to exert influence over your own life and facilitate your own happiness. And it's a comforting thought. It feels good to say I can control this. But what if I postulate? What if one of the most fulfilling things about being alive is forming connections with other people?
Yes.
Which really is something
You can't
that you can't control at all, because you can't make other people love you.
Yeah.
Which is where the crisis begins. Because
But why would you be in crisis about that? See, for me, it comes easy because everyone loves me except me. But, and it is like that. It is genuinely like that. And, the version of me you're seeing right now is alone. So, you know, that's never what happens. I'm talking to myself here. When I'm in front of real people, I'm not as cocky. I'm not as sure. And I listen. I can't listen right now. I'm listening to her, but now I'm turning to the camera. I'm talking to you. So I exist in a different, on a different state than the person my friends love. And my friends do love me, man. And I've never had to fight for friendship. I've never had somebody where I was like, oh man, I wish I was friends with them. And I couldn't. It was, there's people I wished I'd seen more, of course. But that was more because of circumstance. Like, they were older, they were in another grade and shit like that. But when I saw them, when we did spend time together, it was great every time. And I know now that they love me. And my longing for love was more in a romantic sense. That's where I failed. And it's, you know, that's not my fault. But, I mean, it is and isn't. But it's just like, she's right. You can't make somebody love you. You know, it's just life. But of course it's like that, you know? I'm actually an alien in that sense. Like, I don't have to worry about people loving me or not. I'm just worried about tripping over my own balls, saying the wrong thing. And those are momentary worries. Like, I know it's all gonna be fine in the end, you know? I know I'm not gonna break a friendship like that. And that is a scary thought. That some people, I guess a lot of people, maybe most people, go through life having this thing come up from time to time. Hey, am I loved? Now I know I'm loved. Yeah, I feel very fortunate about that. I love my friends.
That's scary. You can't really make yourself love yourself either, but you can at least pretend. You can at least give it an old college try. Whereas other people are terrifying and totally unpredictable because you can't know what they're thinking.
I'm a lot less scared of my friends than I am of myself. I feel at peace, even though I can't know what she's thinking. You know what I mean? Like, I can't know, but, you know, you can get a pretty good idea. Maybe it's because she's autistic. Yeah, it's probably that. This is probably exactly what she's describing here. She's describing autism. Because regular people, no, they can't know what other people think, but they can take a very, very good guess, because there's so many cues, and a lot of those cues are smells and minute bodily and facial expressions, that autistic people are less good at picking up.
Other people lie and mask and want and use, and I want them all to love me so bad.
That was a poor thesis statement, far too long. Here's a brief history of my life. I mean, don't worry, I'm going to bring this all back around to like a lesson eventually, but I'm not going to pretend this whole thing isn't just glorified me time, so strap in. I didn't have many friends growing up, definitely kept more to myself. I don't think I was shy, and I remember feeling like a pull to connect with people, like I wanted that, but I was definitely anxious and still am. I was never anyone's best friend. I had a lot of acquaintances, and it felt like people like generally liked me, but there...
Was I ever anyone's best friend? I think so, but it kind of came late. No, dude, no. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, I literally had a hay of followers that would follow me down the bars of the school recess space, and they would chant my name. I kind of forgot about that. I should have been a cult leader, man. I'm wasting this fucking life on this bullshit music thing.
There was never anyone that I was like actually really close to, and then anything approaching a close friendship that I would eventually have wouldn't be until high school, and they were...
What the fuck is going on? Is somebody speaking in your house, or did you just keep the copyrighted music on, knowing that the volume was low enough so YouTube wouldn't claim you? What was going on, SAVANNAH? Explain it.
All over the internet. Then came uni, where I made friends somehow, like fully a group of girlfriends, which was something I had literally never experienced before. Like, I was in a group chat. That's some shit. And again, I wouldn't say I was especially close to any of them, but we got along, and the feeling of like being physically surrounded by people was new and fun. I'd also just moved to London, and I was meeting tons of people who I'd known through YouTube, so it was like all kind of happening. But then for some reason, I was just done with like the whole uni mindset after a grand total of one semester. I just like came back from Christmas break, and then ever since then, I've been slowly isolating myself. Unintentionally, I think. Honestly, I don't even really know what's happened. But basically, I woke up on my 23rd birthday like, who are my friends? Where?
Wait, what? I don't understand. Did you go to uni for one semester, but you're 23? No, I misunderstood something.
Where are they? What have I actually done over the past, like, 4 years at least? I wrote books or whatever, but, like, who cares? I'm joking, obviously. I care a lot. But I mean in terms of, like, memories and meaningful relationships and moments.
I fucking want to read her fucking stupid books now.
Distinguishable from one another and not just identical one-note days lost to the interminable current of time, you know? You know that feeling? And it's weird because I'm a huge introvert. But my most valuable experiences when it comes to like learning things and feeling honestly alive and like a member of the human race and not just meat rotting at home. Like,
but bro, that's what being an introvert is. Introvert love interaction. Everybody loves interaction. Like, it's very rare that, you know, that you genuinely despise like everyone and every moment, and you don't even want to have a romantic partner. You don't want to have one friend. That's rare, man. Introverts love interaction. They just need to recharge, and that's, you know, that's you, and that's cool. It's fine. You're gonna be fine.
All of those moments have happened when I've been with people. And don't get me wrong, I have a rich internal world. Some may say too rich. I talk to myself all day long. But as someone who spent the better part of her life assuring herself that she'll never have to rely on anyone else for anything, and who moved to another continent on a whim the month after she turned 18 just to see what would happen, I guess. Like, I've always really
valued independence. But independence isn't reclusion, and I don't know why or when I decided that it was. In any case, the binding thread throughout that really rather verbose tale of woe is that I've always found it really difficult to build withstanding, meaningful relationships with people, and I'm not really sure why. I may have an inkling. I guess it's for a couple of reasons, and this might get a little bleak and honest, which coincidentally is what I'd call a pub if I had one. So I don't trust anyone, firstly. I think that's one of the main issues. I always assume I'm not anyone's priority, so I don't go out of my way to make anyone else my priority. I also have like a weird robot brain that can't decide what is okay to say or share, and I'm really scared of saying too much, so I tend to err on the side of like not saying anything at all. Which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is not a substantial basis to build a close friendship upon. And I recognize the irony in making a whole video revealing these quite intimate truths, but what else? I get really uncomfortable when stuff gets too real. I tend to be a bit aloof, and I think people assume that like means I'm not into it. I'm just not a clingy person.
The problem with compartmentalizing your life is right now, I don't know if it's because of the label, but this video came out in 2019 probably, so I'm thinking about 2019, thinking about when it must have come out. November 18th of November 2019, and that was a horrible time in my life. I was isolated, addicted, deprived of everything a human being needs, and I miss it. You know, I miss it not only because I was younger and theoretically that's it, you know, you don't even have to elaborate. It's just like when time is less theoretically, you know what I mean? Like you think about the past and you could have done whatever with that time, but instead you get here, which is okay, but it's not the best. And I don't think it's a chapter thing. I actually don't. I just think it was pure depression, and depression has something really comforting to it, which is why people get stuck in it too. It's like Chester said it, you know, Chester Bennington talked about it perfectly. Oh shit. Cool. I just cut off some of the white noise that had been there for like 5 videos, 10. Depression is not you wanting to die. It really isn't. It's you wanting to go there in the corner, crawl up in a ball, and that's it. And that's beautiful for a human to do. It's like the fetal position. You crawl up in a ball and that's it. And I miss that because that period of my life was literally an image of crawling up into a ball. It was the fetal position 24/7, you know. It was pure comfort. Right when I figured out that I needed to step out of my comfort zone, I tripped back into it the hardest I ever have, and was watching Netflix all day, YouTube, porn, all you want, and I guess I went to school some of the time, probably like 2/3 of the time, but that still felt like nothing because, you know, school was done by 6 p.m. easily, and then I would sleep at like 3, so there were like 9 hours every day of being on screens. I stayed home during the weekends sometimes. There was like, you know, 3 days of doing nothing. That's why I miss it, because misery is attractive. Otherwise, why would people stay in such an awful state? There is good stuff about it. You are no longer an adult. You no longer face your responsibilities. You don't have to care or attend to anything or anyone. You don't have to take care of yourself, you know? If you convince yourself that it's all so terrible, you can just drop everything. And so, no, I do. I miss that. And I think it's because of the contrast with the fact that I now want to move to another continent as well. And I have to make a lot of money. Like, it's a huge amount of money to me because I've never made any. To even make $1,000 a month. And then I don't know how that's going to happen. And so, you know, probably thinking of a time when I was 18 and irresponsible feels comfy.
Person at all, and I also forget things, like my memory's pretty bad. Basically, I think I'm just a bit of a tough nut to crack. So it's like all of those things combined.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if autism does that. Maybe it does, but not being clingy is both a ADHD and a not ADHD thing. ADHD is weird because you'll hyperfixate on people, but you don't miss people. Like I don't miss people ever, really. And I used to years ago, and I didn't really feel ADHD back then. Maybe I just don't have it. Maybe I just have a shit attention span, but I have all the symptoms. Yeah, it's weird.
Jesus Christ, I sound like the worst person ever. I wouldn't want to be my friend. I swear I have redeeming qualities about myself. Oh no. So like I need something that feels exhaustive but not.
You just gotta accept that, you know. Some people are clingy like me. And some people aren't, and thank fuck.
Smothering.
I don't like clingy people, by the way. I don't know how you all do it.
Like I want to be comfortably encompassed but not like constantly superficially around. And it's like who is the person that's gonna deal with any of this? Who I also
Bro, anybody. Like, what are you talking about? It's just like you already lose the battle when you ask these questions before just meeting people and feeling them out. You know? Just see the fucking vibe. And you're way too self-critical. Like, your own concepts about who you think you are and stuff, they don't mean shit in the context of finding somebody you like, you know? That's gonna change you a tiny bit. That's gonna make you realize you're not exactly the way you think you are. And whatever the fuck your personality type is, like there's, you know, there's people for you out there. You had a friend group, so why are you going backwards like that? Because it fell apart. You just quit uni, right? That's circumstance that, you know, shit happens.
also get along with. Like, and given how few people I meet on a regular basis, like, I pass a billion people in London a day. And I'm like, who are all of you people? Like, could I care for you? How many of you idiots could I love? I might be overestimating the amount of people I could actually be close to, which is simultaneously comforting and makes it even worse. It might be 100 a day. It might be none. I don't know. That being said, that thought has made all my past relationships feel all the more valuable. Like, lately I've found myself wanting to go back and say, hey, I spent a bit of my life with you and I think that's important, and it's like weird to never talk to you again, I guess. Like, I don't know. I think just any sort of real thing with anyone is so rare. And I've realized that maybe this whole thing made me so nervous in the first place, because I always knew it was important. Like, it was some phenomenon I couldn't quite parse, but I knew I wanted more of, and I was scared of ruining
Yeah.
things. And I convinced
A lot of people
myself
do
that
that.
because it makes me nervous, I ought to just like get rid of it. But that's not how things work. Hey Siri, why am I so emotionally unavailable?
Fascinating question.
Sometimes I feel like I'm just saying lines. I mean it. Like I'm not actually saying anything besides some weird curated version of my actual thoughts. And then I'm like, well, maybe that's what everyone does. But I don't think everyone does that.
No, that's just what turning a camera on does. You think about what you say, and then you think about it again, because you literally see it on the fucking screen as it's happening. It's a perfect recipe for self-actualization. And so you judge yourself the way you would externally, instead of just existing.
Genuinely never felt like I actually fit in. I've come near to that, I guess, but
It's
never
so hard to
completely.
cross that intimacy.
Is there a moment where you're supposed to be like, oh, you're dear to me suddenly? Close to people in moments, but then I go home and I don't feel that anymore. I have so many secrets. I really don't trust. I struggle with the idea that I can be. There are so many things about
What a
myself that I
bunch of
will never
weird
tell
ass
anyone.
space
I want
apes,
everyone
dude.
to love me, and I want to be loved because I'm exceptional. That I kind of like.
What the fuck are we gonna do?
I think there's something wrong. I think there's
Are we
something
gonna
wrong.
blow up all this shit?
There's something wrong with everyone. I want everything. I want everyone. I want everything. I want everyone. I want everything.
Because we're weird.
When you boil it down, really this whole gig is a lonely dead end. I mean, no one dies with us, am I right, ladies? So what is the point? Why is this something I have decided I need so badly right now? Honestly, I feel like I've already wasted time and people and time with people. I think it's fair to say that it's not quite as trivial as like, I feel like I don't do enough on weekends.
What does that
Maybe
mean?
it's actually like when I arrive at the end of my life, I want to know that I've loved so much and that I've been so loved and that I spent my time on earth enjoying my own company, sure, but also made it through in camaraderie with the only other beings I will ever encounter to have any semblance of understanding of what it's like to be looking out the window on this absolute nonsense train journey towards oblivion, and I want to have looked as many of them in the eyes as I could and have said to them,
Damn, bro.
I will never, ever truly know what they're thinking, but God, do I understand. And God, do I hope they understand.
I know.
And that maybe in the pursuit of making sense of ourselves and of making sense of any of this, the most important resource we have is each other.
God, dude.
And maybe that's why I'm so desperate to find as many things that are real enough to hold in my hands as I can. But that is a very strong opener. Can't pull that one out in the smoking area, so I will think of something else. Thanks for watching.
That's so upsetting. Oh, God. Thanks, Savannah. I feel the most seen I've ever felt and the most alone I've ever been. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna go make some bad decisions now. Fuck, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever watched in my entire life. Not really. The sunset on LSD was pretty cool too. Not even the sunset, just the sun and the clouds, but dude. And that is exactly the way I feel. And that is like exactly what's been keeping me up at night. Fuck. That is fucking crazy. I wanna, I know that people agree with me 100%, but just wanna see it. Shit. I wanna love without fear, yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you, Didim. I'm just like reading comments on a Savannah Brown video, and it's making me cry because just beautiful on its own, and reflecting on myself, of course. Wow. Hey, yo, is that true? Did she ever say she was sad? Like, that's kind of. I don't know if I would strongly disagree that she is sad or that it's a sad video, but she's on a path. She's making sense of herself. Like, this is a. I think this is mostly. It's just a positive endeavor. This kind of video, and she just can't relate to people. It's not. I don't know. This doesn't make me feel sad. It's incredibly touching and moving. Yet the looniest. I'm upset, dude. Mm. Taking the risk.
This video, I'm literally about to change your life for the better.
I don't like your voice.
I truly, genuinely, 100% believe if you watch this video that your life will be changed for the better.
Yeah, but what do you have lip fillers? And why am I judging you for it?
If you do what I say in this video for at least 30 days, 2 months, 3 months, you will see a positive change in your life.
No, that's not me. What I do is I send emails to people who don't want to receive them. So now I'm gonna go do that. Good night. Am I good? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, am I good? You know, I'm a generally tortured person, I suppose, but like recently I'm okay. In this current moment, yeah, I'm a pull through. It's all good. It's just like I'm very touched by what I've seen, I guess. I love Savannah Brown. I've discovered her channel about a year ago, a year and a half, something like the last video she made. Let's pull it up.
Hello, my name's Savannah.
Yeah, hi Savannah. What's up? I want to see what people are saying about the autism too. No, I don't. I don't care. Yeah, I love that. This is such a good title. It's literally Matrix shit. It's literally the video I made yesterday on Key Smash about take your drugs and go to bed. And that's life, and that's my magnum opus every time, inspiration strikes when I'm falling asleep, and there's this simple choice. Do I damage my brain, or do I make good art? Yeah. Good shit. Yeah, I look pretty good. Need to shave.